Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that. Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Hey y'all, good morning. It's me, your girl, Miss Flavor the Diva, and I'm an avid lover of sport. And when I want insightful, contradicting, and bubbly bursting sporting analysis, guess where I go to? Coach's Desk, of course. It provides me with all the detail, keep me up to date, and everything I need to know about my games. Coach's Desk, big up on yourself for the good work that you guys have always been put out. Informative, insightful. It is so contradicting. Personality clashes and bubbleness, trust me. Coach's Desk, I will not stop watching you guys. Enough love, 2022. Everybody tune in to Coach's Desk. Insightful conversation hits your cranium.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Welcome everyone to the Coach's Desk. I'm your host, Coach Minzy, and we are here to have a talk with Reggae Girlz head coach, team that just qualified for the final stages of the World Cup campaign, and we'll be having a conversation with Vin Blaine. He's having some difficulties logging in, so we have to give him some time as he tries to maneuver his way in getting on the platform. So I am in contact with him right now. He's having a little difficulty. So I'm just waiting a little bit. So welcome to everyone. Welcome to the persons over there on Facebook. I appreciate you. Welcome. Big up the Facebookites and the big up to the YouTubeites, Coaches Desk, the Deskers. Big up on yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm not in my normal studio, so you might hear a little background noise or echoing of the voice. I am at a different location. Yeah. So this is where we're at the moment to actually go through this interview. All right. So Leon Price is saying first to comment. Big up yourself, Leon Price. Balakar, check. Welcome, Balakar. Mr. Dre, welcome to the show. Christopher Mackenzie, big up yourself. Fresh God in the building. That's a comment. Moderator and Capo, big up yourself. Fresh. Joseph Brown, welcome to the show. Big up yourself. You know what I mean? All right. So, yeah, people. Still awaiting the coach to jump on. Let me check if he. All right. So, yeah, man, he's on at this moment. I hear that pin. All right, so I'm going to get the coach on at this moment. Coach.
Yeah, how are you, coach?
No, sir.
Mm-hmm. All good?
I'm not hearing you clearly.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you
All
now.
right. Good, good.
How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great.
Yeah, man. And first and foremost,
On the road.
yeah, man. I realize.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I have to congratulate you on the girls qualifying for the next round of the World Cup qualification,
Yeah.
and it's indeed a good feat. The girls stuck to the task, even though some persons like myself was a little bit worried because of the goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the girls got back things on track, and the fans are pleased at the moment. You are pleased, and I'm certain that the girls are pleased at the moment. So I wanted to walk us through, Coach, that first aspect of making the qualification from the beginning, from the get-go.
Well, in everybody's view, we faltered against Grenada. Normally, you score 6 goals, yeah, that's a good total, But everything was based on the scores that Damrep got. You know, I was never overly worried about that because a lot of people kept forgetting that Damrep would have to face Bermuda. And I myself thought that the score would be 0-0, or if Bermuda won, they would have won by 1-0. That's what I've said that before in interviews before they even played. So I was overly worried. Um, the difficulty would be if they scored more than one against Bermuda. I mean, like 3-0. They're too big. The task is harder for us. But I've always said from the beginning that I think I take the blame for the score against Grenada, because as somebody who worked there for a few years, I know the players, I know the capabilities that the players have, and I wasn't really worried. But on the day, I think we got overconfident and never really played the ball the way we should. Going into the game against Cayman, we know what we were up against. We know what we fortunate for us, um, fortunate for us, we knew what the score was because they played the day before us. They played on the 8th against Damrep. So we know coming out of that game what we need to do. So
Right.
coming in on the 9th when we played them, we know exactly how many goals we should have gotten. And also I think the Cayman coach faulted a bit because he started his best defender up top
Okay.
and had some inexperienced defenders in the back. So that's why we scored 5 in 15 minutes. I don't think they were defending well. If you notice, when they dropped back, the skipper back in the fold, she organized the defense and like park the bus for a bit.
Yes.
But it worked out for us. Coming into the game, that's what we wanted to have. Not to have Damrep coming into the game just needing a draw. No, that's why you see they opened up a bit in their game. They came out well in the first half. They came out. We were
Seems as if we have lost the coach.
and that's what led to the first.
All right, coach. We're not hearing it clearly because we know that you're
Fortunate for
probably
us.
in transit, so the signal is a little bit pure.
Yeah, I'm here.
Poor. Hello.
You still?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. All right, we have lost him. Burp, what? Big of a cell, burp.
We went over the areas that we're having difficulties in, and I think the ladies came out and did the job for at the beginning of the second half.
All right. Now, coach, when we look at the whole 4 games, you look at I think initially when you were announced as coach and you called up the players, you made mention of the defense not being the strongest at the moment. But throughout the 4 games, you only conceded like 2 goals. Talk to us about the defensive unit of things.
Well, we have to look at the opponents that we play against. I still believe that defensively we have some work to do going into the next 3 games that we will have in Mexico. We are going to come up against stronger teams. We're surely going to meet either USA or Canada, and then some other top teams who have won their zone. I said it before. I've watched them over the years, and I've said that that's the area that I have most concern about. And it's still a concern of ours. We conceded a goal against Grenada. We conceded a goal against Dam Rep. I don't think we should have conceded those goals. So the work is in progress right now. We have to get that. We have to shore up that area. Offensively, we are about 80% of where we could be. So that's not a big problem. We are scoring goals. We scored 24 goals. So that means, and the 24 goals were scored by different players. So in the first 5 goals against Cayman, it was Bonnie never Kelly Shaw never get a goal. Just scored. So we're scoring, just like the game against Grenada, against Dam Rep. The first set of goals were scored by different players. So we have a variety. It's not just one player we're depending on. We have people who can score goals up top.
Yes. Because when I look at the offensive side of things, I think the attack would have been would cause a lot of concerns to many teams. You know what I mean? So right. I don't think the people are worried too much about the attack. Like you said, the defense need a little bit of assurance. Sometimes they look a little bit wide, easy to break down. The lines are not sure. You know what I mean? Right. So we see that as well, and it's good to know that you are mentioning it as well. So, coach, in terms of the way forward, you made mention a little bit about it in terms of going to Mexico, who you want to play, but how will this team do against better quality opponents who I believe will probably move the ball a little bit quicker? Because that's one concern that persons are having. We tend to transition a little bit slow, except if we utilize the wings. And I notice that is somewhat the pattern of how you play, because you have the more faster players on the flank, so you try to use that with. But how do you think we'll go up against opponents that are, a little bit stronger than this previous group that would have easily walked through?
It comes down to preparation, and the type of games we'll get, practice games we'll get going in. The draw is on the 19th of April. We will know all the 3 teams that we'll be coming up against. Preparation is important. We already identify the areas that we need to play better in, and we have to work on those things in an extended camp. We have to get a camp that will give us an opportunity to look at them under pressure against better opponent. That's the only way we can predict. They are scouting us, and we are scouting them, and I'm sure a lot of people are now looking at our attacking unit, but also for them, when we look at our weaknesses in our defense, and that is the important part for me, to ensure that when they come, we are stronger than what they saw in the last few games. That is what we do. It is football. We have to take care of our weaknesses and try to build on our strengths and see if we can overcome the opponents.
In terms of going forward, when are you looking into camps? How long? And some of the practice games that you're looking into, some of those teams that you don't want to play, that will give a clear simulation of what you'd expect in the next round?
Well, I've not planned on the type of on the team that we'll be playing yet. You just said it a while ago, simulating what, right? Then I can make a better guess and plan on who we want to play. That will probably give us the same type of approach from as an opponent. Yeah, of course, we might get in teams that, well, and I want teams that are better than them, really. That will push us some more. And we'll be concentrating in training on our defensive unit, how well we can, with short defense, I think we have good players. We just don't have a proper system in defense. Organization, I should say, not a system, the organization defensively.
All right. So coach, you seem to be one of the most charismatic coaches that I've met, right? We have a little chat the last time we were at the National Stadium, and you seem very cool. And I listened to an interview that you did with This or That Sports. Big up to This or That Sports. They made mention something about the fans, and quite frankly, some of the fans are a bit worried about you being at the helm. You're not ready in terms of to move this unit to the place that it should be. Any thoughts, what you'd like to share in terms of counteracting some of those notions that are thrown around there?
I don't have to counteract, really, that's not my job. Fans are there to criticize. Fans are there to keep coaches honest. Fans are there to give their own input. A fan is not a training, so they don't know what's happening. I'm sure that 90% of those who talk about me don't know my background, and I'm not here to put my background on here to say defend myself. I'm not defending myself.
Right.
The proof is in the pudding. When I just started, they didn't feel I would win any other games. We won 4 games. That's what the fans must look at. And in saying that, you have hidden agendas out there. People have hidden agendas. People will say things, and just not their friend says something to them and they agree and they put it on the air and they talk. Even This and That Sports came and said that they talk bad about me, right? When I was interviewing them, and I said I have no problem with that. I definitely don't have a problem with somebody speaking bad about the coach. Guardiola do something wrong, his fans, I say something about him. Once you get a game, once you win a game, right, and everybody's fine. My experience is that when I remember coaching Harborview, I won Premier League with Harborview in 1 year. A lot of them youngsters don't know that because they don't follow it. They probably don't follow it, right? I won everything in women's football. If the format was as it is now, I would have gone to the World Cup long before these guys. I've paid off with Mexico twice to go to the World Cup, but it's only 3 teams that went through. If it was 4 teams, we would be in the World Cup from 2006. I said I wasn't defending, but that is history, so I have to give that history. I'm not defending myself. I'm just laying out what happened in the past.
Right.
90%, and I repeat it, 90% of the youngsters that talk are, when I was there they were babies in diapers, probably. You understand me? So they probably don't know the history, but they drag onto the bandwagon and say what they have to say. And sometimes it's based on somebody else's opinion.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem. Even if you say something to me that's bad, I don't have opinion. All of us have our own opinion about the game. You have 2 people in the same. You have coach that differ on the same game, on the same play.
Right. Different philosophy.
It doesn't bother me. I welcome it. If I fail, the country fails, right? My job is to do the best job I can do with what is in front of me. The players that I have, right? Now we have a thing called an opponent, right? The same players who were criticizing about Damrep, we overwhelmed Damrep. We could have given Damrep 8. But that's life. It's football. As I said, I welcome all the criticism because that's what the sport is all about.
Right, but coach, on the side of the constructive criticisms, do you listen to the internet, and do you sift from those information that goes around to see how best you can, better able adjust in terms of your plans on preparation and so forth?
Well, to be honest, I hardly follow social media. When I speak to people like you, and I hear
Mm-hmm.
from you what's happening, and that's how I find out. I don't spend a lot of
Okay.
time going on social media, but I
Mm.
listen to fans. Even when I was coaching Premier League, I don't I'm not a person that goes on the side and make a lot of noise and shout. I'm not that type of a coach, right?
Right.
So, but I also if I'm there and fans are there and they're shouting, I listen to some of the utterances from them. Because fans always talk about midfield. If you go to a game, the first thing they talk about is where's the midfield. If you notice, yeah. So I don't. If I am to follow fans and coach my team like that, then it's better I leave the job. I have to come with my own discipline, my own principles, my game model, and what I want to see players play. What we're suffering from in the game, especially in my team right now, are the fundamentals are not being followed of the position. The fundamentals of the particular position are not being followed. So they're not playing the position well. So it's my job to get them to understand what is needed in certain conditions and of some
Right.
certain conditions.
Okay, so you think one of the biggest challenge you have is players playing their role, and you're working on that to ensure that they become better players
Yeah,
than they are now.
right.
Right.
Like the support making safe passes sometime out of the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dropping off when as soon as your central midfielder turns toward you, and you're a central defender, you have to drop so you don't give the forward easy a short distance to cover. They're gonna press you. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one of the problems we have. That's one of the problems we have right now. When you turn towards the central defenders, they stand up and they are only 5 or 6 yards away from the forward. So that can be a problem.
Okay, so that would be easy access, and you're trying to ensure that they stretch it so that
Right.
the pressing will not be as easy for the opponents as possible.
Right.
All right,
Because USA and Canada gonna press us.
right,
And if
and they're a bit quicker.
they're coming. They're not that quicker. They move fast and they move quick. They move quicker than us. They're not quicker. They get up.
Okay,
Their step is first. They move first. They move before our players.
okay,
That's why they look
okay.
so. That's why they look so quick. We have to move immediately when it's necessary.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. And yeah, yeah, well, definitely. So, coach, the Reggae Girls normally has no problem with going into the parishes of England and the parish of United States to scout players. And we normally see predominantly the team is made out of those other parishes in the diaspora. There's a question in the chat. The person is asking if there's any update on Taylor Hines.
Sheila Hines had not responded. She had not done anything with her seeking her documents. From since I've taken over, that's what I have seen. I know she was contacted, but I don't think they got a response. I have someone speaking to. I think they say maybe they're like not an agent, but in touch and probably looking towards getting her signed up. So I'm following that up.
All right. In terms of the pool of players that you use for this round of games, will that be the pool going forward, or you're going to be adding persons to the pool, or the persons who are injured they're going to be coming back, and or you're going to be going the route of getting new players?
We have Drew Spence and Jade Bailey, Satara Murray. And I'm looking at another young lady who's going to be we have a natural left footer to play wing back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I can't mention her name. But I know Drew has gotten her passport. The only reason why she never participate here was that she has to get released from FIFA. Although we
Mm-hmm.
got released from the release from the English FA for her to play, we still have to go through FIFA. I thought I brought her out because I thought we'd have gotten through the process in time for her to play here.
Right.
But it never worked out. But Jade Bailey, who just moved up to Liverpool to the senior league in the UK. Her documentation will definitely be ready by the time we have our first camp.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, coach, I'm going to be taking some questions from the comment section. I don't know if some of them will be a repeat question, but here we go.
Yeah.
Down is saying, how many practice games will you be seeking to get going forward?
I think we only can get about 2 in the period that we're gonna have, because the girls who are playing up until the end of May in their respective leagues, sometime there, and even I think they'll be done just sometime to the end of in the middle of May. So I have to give them some time off. They'll be training just the same. They kind of recover from their own league, and we'll have time to get them back in shape. The professionals keep training although they stop playing, so we'll have to worry about them, and we will be following up with their fitness level to see what they're doing when they stop playing. So maybe get a week or 2 off, and then we bring them into camp. I would love to have at least a 2-week camp where we can have an extended time to work on the areas that we see fit to work on. Yeah.
Right, because you made mention of that in another interview as well, stating that first games were basically live training, so to speak, in the match training, and as you because the space and the window was short, and when you get them for the last 2 games, they were playing a little bit better. So you're initiating now that if you get that time with them, we are gonna see some serious football being played by the Reggae Girls, because all you need is time with them.
Yeah, man, I believe that we have if we can show the areas that we have problems in, we never concede, coach, but we definitely are improving day by day with how they should play. Or I want them to play, how they should play.
All right, and we see some of the ladies in interviews saying that the chemistry still needs to be worked on, and there's still some work to be done. So it sounds as if, coach, that everybody's on the same page, and that is a good look.
Definitely. I remember, this is additional information. I just got them, so I'm getting used to their personality and how they play. Like for instance, Tiffany Cameron wanted to do what, this is not a harsh criticism, right? But she wanted to play the way she played in maybe in her previous clubs. But I know the value of spreading it out wide for her, that she had more time and space to run players. So eventually she got it, and that's how you see she played in the last game. She stayed wide, and she came in and scored. There was nobody marking,
All right. So Everton Jackson is saying, will a specialist defensive coach, be brought in to sharpen up the defensive unit?
Not really, part of my I think my strength as a coach is defensive coaching. I always start coaching my defenders, but I said we never had the time. When I coached at Premier League, I conceded like 18 goals in the season. If you check it out, I love defensive work, so I'll be looking at that area.
All right. Tuffy Rudy is saying congratulations and good luck going forward. There was some confusion about Juice Spence on the roster of the roster but listed. There was a lot of blame thrown at you for not playing her. Why was such error?
The social media people put her name on the roster, but on the match card she wasn't there. Right, so I know I get a lot of beating for it. Why I playing a forward and Juice Spence is on the bench, and I heard it, right? But it's hard to defend something it's live, and you don't have a time to straighten it out. But the fact is, she was never on the bench. I think what happened, the social media person was at training taking pictures. So I figure he saw her training and figured she was part of it. She was here, so I didn't let her continue training with the team. I was hoping that she'd be ready for the Dammit game, but FIFA, our thing with FIFA never come through, right? But at the time, but she, as I said, the whole thing, people seeing on social media that she was in the squad, but she wasn't on the actual match card. She wasn't on it.
But there was this other young lady, Douglas. I don't remember if that's the correct name. She's a
Courtney
defender,
Douglas.
right?
Yeah, she's a defender. Yeah.
She's in the same predicament situation.
No. She played. She played in. She got her everything ready. Tiffany Courtney Douglas actually was recruited by me when she was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So she had her passport and everything. But when she came back, they were saying that she should renew certain things, and then we eventually got it worked out. She played in the Cayman game, and she played in the Dammit game. So she was okay. She's different than Drew. She never had to get any clearance.
Oh, okay. Somebody, Leon Price, is asking about Miss Wilson. He didn't mention the first name, but I'm not certain if you are aware of who he's talking.
Yes, Suban Wilson is from Crystal Palace. She plays left wing back. So she's been looked at also.
Okay. And
very strong cultural left foot.
Okay. Somebody's saying that you have, trying to find that comment. Basically, they said based on what you're saying, they would have been sold on what you're doing, essentially.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. All right. I'm trying to find.
Don't be afraid to put the bad ones out there now.
Yeah, coach. We know where you stay already, you know, so we not have to hide them.
Yeah.
All right, Top Boy is saying that you are his coach.
Yeah.
All right. So Vin, how you go about improve the speed of play and pressing? That's another question from Leon.
Yeah, what it is, I think part of the speed of play is, so I've always advocated and I've tell players, please do not roll the ball. They're rolling the ball. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. Instead of passing the ball, the ball gets to you in 1 hour. Instead of getting to you in 1 hour. And that's part of the problem. Even in this morning, I was watching the game again, against Damrep, and the balls are just moving slowly. But I didn't blame them 100% because passing the ball on Sabina Park is a little bit. His ball bounces a lot, So if you pass it and it bounces, it might your control might not be wonderful. But we are going to play on better pitches in Mexico. I'm not hoping. Our next couple of games, which are practice games, should be played on better pitches, and our training should be taking place on better pitches where we can now spank the ball firmly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have said to him in training, challenge your players to control the ball. Pass the ball firmly. Challenge your teammate to control the ball. Not just think that it's not. They have to play at speed. So the reaction time and the pace of the ball is important in improving their speed of play.
All right, but coach, we had a little discussion about the field. Some person were saying the field was immaculate. Some person were saying that it was not 100%. I want you to tell us which of them having difficulty because of the surface. Do you think that the surface is better than the one at the National Stadium?
No. And you can look at if you stay from afar and look at man and man heading him, like him have that here. When you come near to see his ball, him have upper space in the here. Ball headed. So it's same with the field. You look at it when you look on TV or you look up in the stands and look at the field, it looks good. It looks good, but the grass is not smooth. As to what these girls are used to playing with. No, they're all professionals. When I watch, say, for instance, Man City with Bunny playing, Khadija Shaw playing, and I hear commentators say, they could play on that field, on the next field on the other side, and this field is pristine, and I'm talking about another field, right? So that's the type of service that I used to. When the ball is passed you on those surfaces, you don't have to look down. You can now scan and move and look because the ball is coming to you the exact way. So in play in Jamaica. That's why our Premier League in Jamaica, the players lose the ball so often. They can't scan.
Right.
They have to wait and keep their head down to receive the ball. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When you play on surfaces now, if you look at Premier League, English Premier League, you have a man scanning out 7 times before the ball get to him. Because he know the ball, he see the line of the ball and knows it's coming to him. But you have to concentrate on that again. So people have to understand those things when you criticize our local ballers and the local pitches. Right? A local baller don't want to miss a goal. Sometimes him take him off the ball bounce over him foot and hit up on him shin and go over the bar. So no different that's why no disrespect to Sabina Park, because you might have to use it again, you never know. Right? No disrespect to them. How I managed that, I said to the players when I came, I said, guys, we are gonna have 4 training sessions. Dam Rip is gonna have 1. Let us concentrate on the bounce, get used to it. Because on the day we have to play on it. But there's no choice. And I didn't see, when you see them play, yes, the ball was bouncing, but when you come on, if you're better than the team, you're going to beat them. How about you football club we can play Barcelona on a farm. They're going to beat us same way. You understand me? You're better than them, you're going to win. Again, you might not score 20 goals, you want to score on us, but they're going to win. So it's a movement of the ball that is important. We have to concentrate. I can't put negative thoughts in the girls' head about the pitch. From there, when I tell them, listen, this is what's happening, there are certain conditions that we're facing, that the JFS was facing. I don't get into those things really, right? I flew down to Jamaica and look at the pitch myself, and I told them the pitch wasn't worthy at the time. And I asked them to wet it and roll it at least. That's all we could do, because it was a done deal. Coach, we're going to play on the pitch. What are we going to do now? Decide boy, we're going to lose.
Can't afford that.
No. And they scored 5 goals.
Yes.
And the goal that was scored against them, against us, had nothing to do with the pitch. It had to do with poor positioning, poor recovering, back into the central area. Right.
That's true.
We have to accept that.
Yeah, man. And you made mention, coach, that you watched Khadija Shaw play there at Man City. You also made mention that you recruit certain players. In terms of your recruitment, do you watch the players yourself, or you have a scout that you so trust in that whatever report that scout brings to you, you trust the instinct of that scout?
Let me go back and tell you that for those who know my history in the women's program, right? I've been in JFS program from 2005. Every single one of those girls you see that are scouted, I went there and see them play live. And all the players that I scouted in the past have to come to Jamaica, have to come eat saltfish and everything that we eat. Have to play on the field. Have to play on the field that we play on here. And the parents are told that. So every single person that I recruit had to come to Jamaica. Tini Lou Asha, I recruited her. Right? Marla Sweatman, I recruited her. Okay? Alika Keane, who scored the last goal against Grenada, I recruited. So all of them had to come to Jamaica. The parents were told that. They have to come learn the national anthem. Right? So I see them. I don't like videos of players because they can be cut and paste and look good. So I like to see them. I like to see them in person, right? The ones that I've seen, like for instance, Wilson. I've watched Wilson 4 or 5 games since I heard her name, and see if she would fit into our system. I can tell you, I like her. Of course, she makes some mistake, but the mistake she's making could be the way the coach wants her to play. Right. So I see some qualities in her, the qualities that we have. We do have a natural left-sided wing back. Because right now, Sashana Campbell is actually being used at the right wing back. If you notice, she don't really cross the ball with her left foot. She can, but it's not something that she's comfortable with. Right? But she's still in the group. She's a utility player because Sashana Campbell was never a wing back when she was younger. Right? She played under 15, under 17, under 20, but she has adapted to the position. She's doing well.
So people hear it. Coach Vin Blaine is saying that he watches his players, right? You know, sometimes you might get a scout report from somebody, but even so, he is still going to be watching the player. And coach, you made mention something very critical, and I don't know if persons got this, you know. You said that you watched the Wilson player and you saw her making some mistakes, and you said it could be a possibility or as a result of how the coach wants her to play, which doesn't suit her game. So a player can be coming from wherever in the world, whichever parish they are in the world, to come and represent Jamaica. They have already adopted to a style of play. So sometimes you as a coach will bring them into your system, trying to convert them, so to speak, for your system, and they often make mistakes and they are criticized that they are not good. But it's as a result of them not adopting to the system that you would have presented to them, and the time isn't enough. And I think that is critical in terms of even, I'm happy that we have about 99 people on, 99 of the fans. So now that they know that sometimes we can't be too hard and fast on criticizing the player, because it oftentimes has to do with what the coach wants them to do, and are they able to get it in the time space or time span that they actually have to carry out those duties.
Because presently, Wilson plays very high as a wing back. And sometimes she recovers, sometimes she doesn't. But I said it's a system that the coach wants. And this is why a lot of our young players, boys, leave Jamaica and come back. Because they want to prove that they attribute their talent by scoring goals. A lot of time the coaches who recruit you know you can score a goal. What they want to do is see if you can play in a system that he wants.
Exactly.
On a particular. And they don't.
Key.
They go and then they score 3 goals and then come and say, boy, you know, we score 4 goals and the man still cut me. Because I never play how the man wanted to play. You know? Because when you go there, they want to see if you can follow instruction, if you can play under instruction. You don't want him to overlap. You don't want him to do this. You know, so when I watch a player, I look at the technical ability, I look at the coach ability, and I look how them simulate with them teammates. I watch if they get a bad call, how they react to it. I watch if a player speaks to them, how they react to that their own teammate. You know, so those are things I always like to go. I've been to Canada, and I've not been to the UK yet to look at players because I never had to. I inherited a lot of players. I didn't need to go and look at any. But in the earliest, I used to go to Canada, I used to go to Florida, and look at players myself.
All right. Any updates on the injured Blackwood and Havana on their?
Blackwood is ready. Blackwood is ready. Havana is not ready yet. Blackwood is ready. Havana wasn't ready. And the last time I checked, I'm gonna check back on her now for the June window. She might be ready. And then, you know, because we have a lot of players to look at. A lot of players to look at that are coming back in. You know, and then down the road, making it into the World Cup, you have people who are pregnant and coming back in. You see a lot of permutations, you know.
Is it the COVID?
All right,
coach,
don't get involved.
All right, let us leave that one out. Let us leave that one out. Gail and Keem, we noticed they didn't make this final cut. Any particular reason?
One Keen.
Alika Keen and Gail. What's I don't remember her first name. I think she plays.
Yeah. Both weren't available. Alika got COVID the day before she must travel.
Oh, okay.
So she couldn't come. And Gail, Gabriel Gail, you know, who they call Bubbler, affectionately they call Bubbler. She could not make it because of it was near to, a lot of them couldn't make it because it was close to their graduation time at the university.
Okay.
So she had something with school that she couldn't, because she was invited, but couldn't make it. Alika got COVID the day before she left, because Alika is in the same club that Tiffany Cameron is at.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so she got.
I was wondering why she.
Yeah, she tested positive.
Okay. All right. So Rob Smith is saying some of the criticisms that you get from YouTube persons is that the fact that that people on the YouTube have convinced everyone that if you're born in Jamaica, you know nothing about football.
Yeah, well, that is some, and it has to do with this color of skin, and not racist, but it has to do with color of skin. Jamaicans, some of us are still in the slavery mentality, and I make no apologies saying that. I'm in the education business, right? I'm a coach educator for CONCACAF and FIFA. I mentor countries for FIFA. But because I don't come out and say these things, a lot of people don't know. But that doesn't make me a good coach. You understand me?
Yes.
Not because I'm a coach educator makes me a good coach. Just like a professor at a university don't make a good doctor.
That's true.
Right? I know the fundamentals. For those who don't know, and I say I don't talk, but for those who know, right, I have a master's in high performance football. It's the first probably when I hear it on radio, or maybe second, you know. But that don't make me a good coach either. You have a lot of people who I come across in my coaching education thing that has an A license from America. Them have UEFA B license, and them can't coach. If all coaches that had a pro license were excellent coaches in their own right, we'd have 10 man winning Premier League every year.
True.
10 different coaches over a period of time. If you check out, Guardiola been winning Premier League for 4 to 5 years, right? You have Klopp coming win. So listen, I hear a coach saying, and it's something that I believe in: good players make good coaches, right? That's what it is all about. And people say this, and it's true. We don't buy into our own. We don't give our own people a chance, right? I was with a certain coach, and as his assistant coach, right, national coach, and I left because the man couldn't coach, right? But he was brought here and thought, and he was a big coach for them. Okay, so criticism is not surprised. I'm not surprised about that. You know, I've heard it. Oh, this is not good for the program. I hope we get a better man for the program. I have no problem with that. Because how many coaches have come to Jamaica from overseas and failed? All right, put it this way: how many coaches have come to Jamaica and take the team to World Cup? One man.
One.
30 years ago. You understand me? So, and you have had several from them that came after. And at one point, our local coach in Tapa Whitmore was the winningest coach through all the coaches that come to Jamaica. But people don't know those facts. A study was done by a man in youth at UTech, a professor in youth at UTech, that showed that Tapa was up to recently, in about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Tapa was the winningest coach in the entire all his coach from Simo's come down.
Yeah, man, we're aware of that information. But you know what the challenge and say, coach? The challenge and say he's the winningest coach, but the teams that he played against were weak teams. So you know the people are gonna come to counteract something when they're not.
That can't be true. But coach, that can't be true. We play the same against the same team that Simo's play against, right? That Schaefer play against. In the same team in play. We play the same. We don't have a choice, you know. We play in CONCACAF.
And that's what I explained. That's what I explained, you know.
Yeah, team don't change. Honduras, El Salvador, Canada, USA, Panama, all those teams. We beat local Caribbean teams, Eastern Caribbean teams, because them just don't have a proper program. Right? Jamaica scout, and you have 15 man in the squad from the UK. right? So you play against the same thing, but even if he did well, they're going to kill him.
But coach, let me be a little bit. Let me be a little bit controversial. I myself as a coach, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't you and don't you believe that the local coaches have not reached to a standard that will allow players when they are exported to be high quality players? Why I say that is because oftentimes players are exported and case in point, players might be bought to another league, but because of their inability to do certain things, movements, understanding different moments of the games and all of that, they are unable to play in a system. And there are a lot of deficiencies that have been identified. And these are players that we laud in our country as being top quality players. But when they're exported, they have so much deficiencies. So I as a local coach, I would say we still have a far way to go, despite the fact that we are quote unquote good coaches. Would you agree with me?
100%. 100%. I agree with you. But it boils down to now we have to get our coaching education programs in place. I think what we need, and this is why I started the Caribbean Football Coaches Association, which is gonna be we were having difficulties getting the platform to collect dues and that type of fees, but it's up and running now, and I have people from Spain that will come in and have our local coaches train the proper way. I also have opportunities for them to go on internship in Spain and do work there. Like a month, 1 month or 2 months. And they'll be exposed to different ways of training because we use the same coaching standards we have,
Yes.
You do a CONCACAF B license or C license, and then you do another for coach.
So in coaching, the principle of reversibility. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
So these are the things that are really happening to the local coaches.
Yeah.
But
you
like
must
you
remember, coach. You remember what?
Yes.
Right? Montreal United carrying a coach from England. Ricky Hill. Right. Who I know a long time. Right? He been through his everything, coach. And how long him last? You get me?
Yeah, man.
So we have to. What I want coaches to do is to support each other. That's what I want coaches to do, and stop calling them friend idiot coach. Right? Coaches out there are calling me idiot coach, and they have never coached. They have never coached at any level.
Right.
Coaching school. I'm saying to you, support each other.
Yes.
Right? Local, if you get a job, me I support you. Right? Me not going to tear it down.
That's right.
Right? I want all of us as coaches, and when I deliver courses, that's the first thing I tell all the coaches them. Support each other. Like how referees support each other. A referee make a bad call so bad that only God can tell anybody. Right? And then they find a reason to support them own. We don't do that. We as coaches don't do that. As you eat that coach that them can't coach. And some of them has never even won a teacup, but they're calling other people bad eat that coach. And me shoot from the hip, a long time meaning this thing, a long time meaning this, right? And I'm telling you that because sometimes you don't know the background of the person. Sometimes you don't know you have players who are not good enough, and because the team not winning, you're ready to fire them. A lot of the management in clubs are too hasty to fire their coaches instead of giving them opportunity to develop the team. Right? You look at Manchester United. When the first time man come in, him couldn't work, him have to leave. When the gaffer leave, the real gaffer left.
Yes.
But that is the difference. That is money. You're talking about millions and millions of dollars there, so you understand me? So you can look at it that way. But our local coaches, right, must come out and take a turn and say, let me support my brethren. Back in the days, right, you have Duncan and Bell. Bell is at
Georges?
no, at Santos.
Santos, okay.
And Duncan Destroyers is with Speed have now, right? Cavalier. And them two coaches there used to call one another before the match, the day before the match, and top of the game, That's the respect that for each other. Or that's the respect that Jackie Bell had for Duncan. Right? It's not about you as coach, it's about to even develop football in Jamaica. Right? I don't have a problem with a man called Vin Blaine. That's not nothing new to me. When I took over Abbeville Premier League Cup, the first thing started about me not a coach, me a woman coach. Me coach woman. And I won Premier League in 1 year with 3 games to go. Right? Because I had a good team, a change of some things within the thing. I'm a man that deal with discipline. And any of my players that out there listen to this interview, all of them can tell you, discipline comes first in a team. You can't make a boy jump a fence and in the train for the whole weekend start him tomorrow. Over a man who train the whole week. Those are things that happen to our local football because we have too many stars.
Mm-hmm.
And the community telling them that them good.
Yes.
And ready to kill the coach if the coach will play them. You get me? So me take coaching serious, Me take coaching education serious. I'd never have to take this job. It's more stress for me than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? But once you're in the job, you have to find a way to deal with it the right way. Right? Even the girls would criticize the training sessions. Even the boys would criticize training sessions.
Yes.
Right? You have to know to manage it. Do I argue with them? Do I allow them to have a voice? And then work it out and move forward?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just someone. You have people out there who want to get rid of Vin Blaine and want to get rid of, for what reason? You win 4 games and they want to get rid of you. You get me?
Yes.
And because most of them have a hidden agenda.
Yes.
But,
I saw
as a coach, you have to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I saw somebody made mention of the hidden agenda up top in the comments that they want an overseas coach. So probably that's one of the hidden agenda.
Yeah, because as you say, I go back to what you say, the local coaches are no good. And that's an opinion that's shared by a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah. And you don't hear when the man come and feel, I don't hear nobody criticize the man. You understand me? They criticize Tapper have his own agenda. Everybody have their own thing about Tapper. I don't have a problem with that. No coach is perfect. All of them make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
If we never make mistakes, we win every game and everybody tie for the first place.
Because as you made mention at that point, somebody is saying that you took a little bit, you took a long while to make the adjustment in the first half when Dominica Republic was pressing us. The person is essentially saying, why did it take you so long to make that adjustment? And
it never
you
took me long.
watching.
If they watch me coach, I go to the sideline and I keep shouting to Marlo to sit in the middle, just sit, because Chinelu, this is why I don't play 2 personalities. Chinelu can't play another runner. Chinelu is a runner.
Mm-hmm.
Asher stays, Marlo stays in, but Marlo was making a mistake of running out too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I kept shouting to her, stay, sitting there. Right? And we weren't really pressured after that first goal. But I know how to make that adjustment going to the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Can I remember they scored their goal something in the 30-something minutes or 40-something minutes? Yeah, 30-something minutes. Right? We never have much time left. And from that happened, I saw her make a little adjustment. She recognized what I was trying to tell her. So in the second half now, I made that adjustment. We go in the changing room and we discussed it and we made that adjustment. And this is why you see I moved Chinelu up top, because she was giving me the work, I never want to take her off. She's very industrious in that area. I put her above and I brought on Kayla McCoy, who's actually a forward. And I hear people kill me about it. But if you see her in training, if you see her, she's my go-to person when I want someone to kill off a game and put her in the middle, because she will give me the discipline in there. So I brought her in and I put Chinilu up to do the work in front of them.
Right.
That's the adjustment that we made.
Yes, yes. And it paid dividends in the game for you.
Yeah, it paid dividends.
Ricardo Baggio is saying, Coach, Mr. Blaine, every chance Craig Butler gets, he discredits you. I never heard you address his accusations.
And I won't, because it will give him credence. I give him Craig Butler the credence. I think what Craig Butler must do, the amount of time in call my name, should give me some of the money he make off of my name. No, Craig himself, no, I won't get that. That's what he wants. He wants me to come and say something, and he's going to come back and say what he has to say. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I know what I said. I never said anything that he's saying that I say. Right? But he keeps with that narrative. Somebody just told me the idea that him saying kill my career. I don't know what kind of career him talk about. I left Jamaica as a technical director. I went to Grenada as a technical director. I moved from there and go to US Virgin as director of football. What kind of career kill? And I resign and come to Jamaica. Right? I can't kill my career. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't want to get into anything with it. I'm not defending it. I think if you talk about him, that's what he wants. So you can move on. I won't discredit him. That's what he believes. I won't discredit him. I'm a bigger man.
All right, that's fine. To see if I have any other question. Leon is saying that if McNamara to get some run like her so far.
McNamara?
I don't understand. I think he's asking if she'll be getting some run because he likes her.
Oh, I think she was in the 20s. I think so. I think she was in the 20s, but she wasn't called. She was on my radar for the first call up, but then the coach of the under 20 wanted her in the under 20, and I didn't press to have her. Jody Brown made a decision. I probably should talk about this because it's a controversy that I take Jody Brown from the under 20s. I didn't. Right. When I heard that she was with the under 20s, my concern then, coach, was the amount of time she could not play both competitions. Not because of a rule, but because she would miss too much time out of college. So when I heard, I advised her to go speak to her coach and her advisors as to what she should do. Because remember, the competitions were back to back, Right? So we played the senior team. Senior team was in the first part of February, and then just as she come out, she'd have to go to the under 20s if she played both. So she, in other words, potentially she would have lost 4 to 5 months of college, and no college then give you a scholarship and all that time off. It's not a job. We're seconded to a company, in that, right? So I spoke to her, and she went off and she came back to me and said she's ready. And I asked her ready for which team. She said for the senior team because the under 20 will be taking too much of her time.
Okay.
Right? So I even said I put a clause in there. Listen, if you're gonna play Haiti, which is one of the tougher team, she could then come and play that Haiti game. Because I don't think they would have needed her for the other games, based on what I heard about the team. But it never worked out, and people are accusing me that I took Jody. Jody make a decision. I have to make her make the decision. I can't. It's her decision and the school's decision. But she then going to let her play two tournaments. But I know if she did play both, she'll be out for quite a while, out of college. And the girl she has to, as a matter of fact, she had to make up some classes when she went back. And with only her staying out for like 2 weeks. So we have to be very careful that we spread these things. It was all over the radio from what I heard. Right? But I don't listen, man. Anybody know me? I don't hide anything. I don't tell a lie on radio. I tell you the truth. And you can ask me any question. I don't run from.
Yeah. All right, that's it. A whole lot of questions coming in, coach. And I'm lost right now in terms of the questions. But Karumi, you were saying the males play slow and now the girls play slow. But I think you made mention of there's the surfaces causing them not to be moving the ball as quickly as they would like.
Yeah, I think so.
He
And
answered.
it's something that we spoke about, not we, the staff. We recognize that. That they're rolling the ball and not knocking the ball hard enough to try. If we're like for switching play, they have to go quicker than for switching play. So if you give them enough time to the defenders enough time to adjust to the switch of play, then it's not worth it.
Somebody's asking for, that you tell us about Romain Lewis. You know of that individual?
Romain Lewis? No.
That name? Yeah, that sounds like a male. All right, so Pagan is saying, how much longer do you want to continue coaching in your career?
Make it to the World Cup is my last time. My last days of coaching. I go back to technical director.
Okay.
And the person must know me age by himself. We must ask a question.
All right. Any more questions, people? We have had the coach on for like close to an hour now. Any more questions? I pass a lot of questions, so if you're still on, you can write back some of the questions so I could ask. Honestly, I pass a whole lot of them. So coach is looking to have about roughly two practice games going forward for those who are just coming in. He wants to have at least a 2 weeks camp to ensure that he gets the players, to be at the level that he wants them to be. Timor Perkin is saying, are we going to see Lauren James and Taylor Hines in the next window? All right, we spoke about Taylor Hines.
Lauren James cannot represent Jamaica. Everybody thinks she can. She can't.
I want you to say that again, Coach. Coach, I want you to tell the people that again.
Yeah, Lauren James cannot represent Jamaica. She has no ties to Jamaica. She more can play for Grenada or one of those countries. She had no ties. I thought so too. I checked it out. She played in the same team as Drew. And I had Drew talk to her. I had Drew talk to her personally, and she said she don't know any connection to Jamaica. And because somebody been saying that to me, even in some chat recently, I heard it, but I couldn't defend it. But she can't play. I checked her long time. But she can't represent Jamaica.
And that's the sister of Reese James. Sister of Reese James.
Yeah, sister Reese.
So Reese James and Lauren James, they have absolutely no ties to Jamaica.
Right.
All right. So we can get right now.
Who's the other person?
Wayne Wignall. Say that again. The other person was Taylor Hines.
Oh, Taylor talk about that. Yeah, Taylor Hines has not responded from what I've heard. But I think that that somebody's looking into it, because I think somebody who handles her say they will deal with her for me.
All right, we have our resident attorney here making a comment. He's saying that, Coach, all things considered, I think you're doing a great job, and I hope you and the team grow from strength to strength. That's coming from Neo Sovereign, or resident attorney.
Appreciate it.
All right, Kevin will come in. He's asking if we're going to be beating US or Canada in the next window.
One of them. Don't know which one yet. The way the system works is that Canada will go in one group and USA in another group, and then the draw will take place to see who fits under those. It goes, Coach. It goes. USA and Canada are seeded, right? So the first draw to see where it's the teams that are ranked below them, immediately below them. we draw to see who go where, and then after that, no, the next two that below that other two teams, so they go by rankings. The higher ranking to the next higher ranking to go to Trinidad and the other team. I know for one that we probably won't get Panama, because Panama and we are ranked in the same level, like. So we go one pot, and Panama go in the other pot. But apart from it, I can't tell you who go where. You know, apart from it, I can't tell you who go where. You know.
All right, we getting another question from Richard Stevens, the Tidwinks from United Kingdom. He's saying that what was Coach Vince thinking behind keeping Bonishaw on during the Cayman Island game? How much of a gamble was it, as she was on a yellow card?
Well, for me, I never see that gamble. Bonnie don't play nasty, you know. Bonnie don't play that type of football. And she just scored. I was taking her off the field. She scored 2 goals. A hat-trick to a player is like a century in cricket. I gave her 5 minutes more, and she actually scored in that 5 minutes. I told her, you have 5 minutes. I thought I told her. And she scored in there, and if you realize that I took her immediately after she scored her hat-trick. Right after she scored, she came off. She was on the field for more than 2. She wasn't on the field for more than 2 minutes after. Because the change was written up before she scored.
Right.
So I kept her on for 5 moments to see if she could. Because the way the game was going, she would have a chance of really scoring. So it was not a problem for me.
All
but
right.
I understand
Mikey Toughest Campbell is saying, my daughter is in Canada and a Jamaican citizen. I would like her to represent Jamaica. Yeah. How do I go about it?
Contact the JFF, and depending on how old, it doesn't matter how old she is. You can contact the association. They'll put you on to the person that is in charge of the team, right? You can contact me. It doesn't matter. But I think the easiest way to go to just touch base with JFF, and you can contact me. I don't know if she's under 17 or she's senior senior team, but get in touch with JFF, and they will put him in touch with the persons that are in charge of the particular teams, maybe like the manager or so.
Yes. Do you think we have the players to play 4-3-3?
Yeah. But I have to consider my thing is, I want to get the best players on the field. I don't want people sitting on the bench who can do certain areas. Like Drew Spence. She and Jade Spencer, and they both of them play like a midfielder role. But Jade is a holding midfielder, she's very good. So if she and Drew Spence is playing, then Drew would go. Drew scores goal up top. And then you have Marlo. Am I going to drop out Marlo? Am I going to drop out Chinelu? It's a tough decision. Can Chinelu play on a wing if we play 4-3-3? Those that thing. Am I going to play the 3 in close in, or I'm going to play it wide? Those decisions have to be made after we made that sort of assessment. But some of the sports commentators think we play 4-3-3 based on how we move.
Yeah, that's true.
I've said it. I've heard them say it all the time. Jamaica's 4-3-3. So it's all you look at the game. As far as I'm concerned, 4-3-3 static position. The system is when you move up or you move off the ball. The formation.
I know the players play their role.
Yeah, the systems are different in the formation. That's why other people mix up the two. When they miss a blue on the man drop off, him go back in a 5-3, whatever. So it's a matter of how I personally pay attention to if you're a wing back and you move up into midfield, the fundamentals change. There are certain things to do up there that's different than you're playing a wing back. If you're playing on the wing, it's different when you're tucking. So it's just a matter of me and the staff move together now, get a good camp and put things in place. We're going to play against good teams. And I like I think we're cut out for us, right? They are scouting us, and we are scouting. They are in the same predicament than me. Yeah, coach.
Right. So Wun is saying fullbacks are vital to distribution and attacking in the modern game. Have you ever thought about switching attacking players to fullback and that are better on the ball, like France have done?
Well, put it this way: if he's following it, I say Wun all the time, on social media, these platforms. Wun, if you look, I moved Kayla from she's a forward with our club. The first time she played central midfield when I put her there, she had never played at the stadium against Bermuda. I have no problem bringing back. Say for instance, Tiffany Cameron at right wing back. If I don't have the player. But if I have the players that can play there and know the position well, I'm not going to do it. The reason why Kayla McCoy was put into central midfield, we never had anyone. We had Chinilu alone. And Chinilu was a runner. So I could not put she and another runner in the middle. Right? Is that caused us to go because for the first 15 minutes or the second 15 minutes of the game, Marlo became a runner. And Chinilu running. So that's why we had that space in the pocket. Right? It is a possibility, but I don't just put them in. If in the game, if I am out of position, out of substitutions, then I will drop her and change the system maybe. But it depends. It all depends on the game. All depends on how the game is panning out. But it cannot. When it cannot, I wouldn't have a problem doing it.
All right. Neo Sovereign again is saying you're a former technical director, and how important is it that you put things into place to ensure that after this campaign, we continue to recruit players of this caliber so we continue to excel at the women's game?
Very important. I'm not sure even if I go to the World Cup, I don't think I'll be in a second campaign. But I am sure that whoever takes the team will want to continue and will do some recruiting. I don't think it will stop. What I want to see is that our local football starts playing again, and we get players to represent the country. In 2006, when we were one position away from going to the World Cup, it was 90 or 100% local players. The late 90s, big good players too. And it's important that we get back our local, especially at the grass level, especially under 15 and under 17 level. We have to get that back up running, and a vibrant schoolgirl football competition. Because when the schoolgirl football was started, there were 40 at schools, and some of the games used to play in stadium, National Stadium. That time Woolmans was one of the top schools with Nicky Bell as one of the star players.
Right.
And Diana English from Woolmans. You understand me? So we need that's what I'm more interested in. But right now I can't do better. I have to go to the players that are from overseas. And our local bred players like Khadija Shaw, Sashana Campbell, Denisha Blackwood, Jody Brown, those players we have to go with. Kanya Plummer.
Yeah.
Were some of the players that went to the World Cup, all local based, but right now I don't have any that I can draw on for recently. I say, okay, come in. Because there are no football players.
Right. All right, coach, you said that I should read all the questions, but I can't read all of them. I found one that you'd want to think it's a negative one. Brown Bear is saying, I have no confidence in this coach to take us to the World Cup.
And that's good. Nothing wrong with that. That means if we go to the World Cup, you can come and say, boy, coach, congrats.
Yeah, he might have to come apologize to you.
Yeah, man. No, and he might be right. If I don't know what makes him believe that, because unless he's a clairvoyant, so he can see down the road, right? And maybe he can tell me why. Does he know my background in coaching? Does he know what I have achieved? Those are things that you have to take. You can't just look at him and say, boy, you can't let me go there.
Yeah. So Brown Bear needs to clear up that question.
He must have a reason why he said that, and it could be right. It could be right. If I knew that I was going to the World Cup, I would say it. You know, it's one of those things. Right now, everybody thought that Manchester City was a clear, was a walk in the park for them to win English Premier League. Right? No, what is
And
happening?
they're close.
Yeah. So it happens, man. What is it? What is his name? What is it?
Brown bear. Brown
Bear. I understand you. I appreciate your comment, but I hope you're wrong. For Jamaica.
For Jamaica's sake, for the girls' sake, and the country's sake. All right, coach. How important is it that we revive a domestic female league? Or you just mentioned that already because we don't want to repeat that.
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important. Right. Very, very important.
All right. Richard Tiddlywings is saying, I admire Coach Vin's transparency and friendliness with the media. What are the dangers of this, if any?
None. I think you have to be very you must accept criticism as part of development. Because sometimes criticism makes you step back and look. Maybe something that you never thought about. Right? And there's no coach in the world that has not been criticized. None. But the same people who criticize the coaches are the same people who come and big them up. Right? I have a situation when I was coaching above you, Premier League. I made a change in a game. And a fan in the stand, first thing he said, idiot coach Vin Blaine. He said more than one time. I won the game. And I was the biggest coach for him after the game. What must I tell him? Don't big me up now after you call me that. No. It's part of the profession, guys. If you're not not broad to take criticism, don't go into the thing. It's like if you can't eat, no go in the kitchen. Right? So I do have a problem. I will never. I see the guys there's some guys, the same guys they big up that interview me. Them tear me down. And they were honest enough to say to me, Coach, we are one of the people who get a hard time. Right? And I said, that's no problem. I don't expect everybody to come. They have their own thought process. They have their own reason. And they don't have to explain to me why they say it. Right? If I'm away with them in one-on-one conversation and I can sit with them and talk to them, fine. Being open and transparent with if I can take your good words as a media, from media, me can take your bad criticism too. You know, you must be able to do that. And sometime, after you answer these questions, coaches, they will recognize that what they were thinking about you before, not so it go. You know, it's just that's part of the profession, man. That's part of it. Every single coach and every player get criticized. So why should I be any different? You know, no big thing.
Are you pro-local or anti-overseas? Or there's a balance that can be struck? CT Sports Lab asked question.
I'm none of the above. If I can't find a good player, listen, my daughter born in Jamaica, right? It's just hypothetical now. My daughter born in Jamaica and I moved to Florida. She moved there when she was 5 years old. Right? But she grew up there and played there. I mustn't carry back and play for Jamaica. You understand me? You have a young lady who born in America. Our parents move out here for a job, for some job business, and there for 3-5 years go immaculate, or go Camperdown, or go Walmart, and go back over, go live. Now she's considered an American because she was born there. So I mustn't give her an opportunity, or him an opportunity to come play for us. Right? So we can go and we absorb everything American, but we mustn't carry the player them out to come play. Right? I'm saying my philosophy as a technical director at the time in JFF, I placed a what should I say now? I would say, okay, I believe the under 15s must be 90% local because that's our development stage, right? But these same girls that play at under 15 don't transition into the senior team because of maybe they leave, they're not good enough, right? So you guys find that the senior team, the number of girls that play for this year might be less than the local, or more than the local player. You understand? There's a ratio. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a ratio that I had played signed when I was technical director. There's a ratio. There's a ratio, right? So we are. That's what it is about. The ratio there, and I think under 15 is the development stage, right? The development stage. So we always try to overload the local players. But I'm not anti anything. I'm pro football. I'm pro Jamaica.
How can you be a good coach if you say Leon Bailey? Oh, all right. We now get back in another argument.
No, let me just say that. Let me say that. I never said that. Argument done. Never said that. They must look at the context in which it was said. I mean, not going to repeat it.
Hey, coach, you know so that argument that now going though.
Well, because
it
of
will never end.
No, it ends for me. You know, it's a person who is involved with it that is carrying it on, and kudos to him. I tell you, he must give me some money for the amount of time and call my name. I won't defend it. I'm not defending it. That done long time, coach, right? Because I know what I said, and no, I know the context that I said it in, right? I will say one thing. At the head of at the beginning of the interview, I was asked about him, right? That is the player, and I said he's better than what we have. Now, why would I say at the end what they say I'm saying? All right, he knows what happened, but he prefers a line that makes him look like a good person. I won't get back into that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. But Paul Ford, you see, them say controversy sells, but right now, the coach decides that you'll not continue on that conversation. So you leave it right there. So let's not rehash it. But he's not one that will hide away from questions, but I think he does not, go back there.
No, that's not a question. That's not a question anymore.
What strategies would coach employ to promote the Reggae Girlz? They are a credit and great brand both on and off the pitch for Jamaica.
What I did in the earlies, when I had the team in the early 2000s, right? I used to carry them to the parishes and the employees, that the people, the local people could see them. Because school girls that could see them, because they can't come to town. They don't really come to town. So one of the things that I did at one point is to play a game at Draxall with IRFM staff. We made like 300,000 that day. They sign autograph, they do everything. Yeah, another time, what I did was I put them there, and we had Beanie Man who did a show free. We raised 1 point something million for the women's program. I believe in exposing them. When you have the time to do it, that people can see them. Not just when you win something. I think when they went to the World Cup, they were at a motorcade, but that to me is too late. I think locally we should be able to just take them around. Play them. We also did school visit in my time. We used to go to schools with them and let them talk to the players, the kids, and come back. But so those are things that we have to start looking at again. Because you can't just go walk and talk. You have to play the game that the kids say play. Right. There was some kids from Anagan at the last game, and they were intrigued by seeing their stars, playing, and the football playing at a level that they would love to play at. I'm still laughing. That means a question they want to ask me now.
No, man, I got to ask someone. but before I ask the coach, Jay, do you see her more of us as a centre-back option or defensive midfield option for the team, with us having a lot of midfielders?
Who's that? Jade?
Jade Bailey, yes.
Oh, Jade Bailey. Well, she That's a good question. A very, very good question because part of
That's
my
from
thinking.
One.
Huh? 1-1? Yeah.
That's from One.
1-1. Yeah, 1-1. Jade Bailey can play both positions naturally. I've seen her when I watch her play. She morphs into that central defense. If I'm having a problem defensively, I think she would fit in there easily. But what I like about her, she knows when to drop in and balance the defensive line. So that is what I like. She played number 6 position well. In England, they call it number 4 position now. But she drops into that pocket and balance the line when the two central defenders are exposed to in bit. So I mean, it's not. I would if I was forced to.
All right. So question here, I was laughing at coach.
Yeah.
Can you take off your shirt and beat your chest for winning those games convincingly?
No. Well, first of all, if I'm see my chest, he wouldn't know how to do it. Yeah. No. And you know, in seriousness though, I wouldn't beat my chest because we should have been beat. Historically, we should have a problem with those teams. I don't think they achieved any greatness by beating those teams. When I beat my chest when we beat a USA, a Canada, and Mexico, and work back into the World Cup. But right now, we should have been expected to win those games. Right? Put it this way, I never expect Bermuda to beat me. I never expect Grenada to beat me. Worse, I never expect, with all due respect to my friends there, and I'm a friend who's the president. I never expect Cayman to beat me. The noise was being made about Damret. I've never lost to Damret from me coaching. I've never lost to Bermuda from me coaching. Right? We don't talk about the other two, but I just don't see them as anybody who could have. First of all, if we lost to them, to Damret, we certainly never need to be in the competition.
Yes.
Right? And I can say that now because it came through to form. But I don't know if I spoke to you before, but I was, and anyone that heard me on the previous platforms that know what I said, that we keep forgetting that Damret has to play Bermuda, who is not a walkover. Right? And so from that game, I will know what I have to do come the 9th, which is the day after. And it worked out that way. And people ask me, are you going for the draw? I said, no, I'm not going for a draw. I'm going for a win.
Yes.
Why should I sit back and allow him to come into my attack, my defensive third, just because I want to draw a game? I think I would be a disgrace for me as a coach to take a team like Jamaica to try and draw with Damret. Simple put. They have good teams, but if they have a good team, 3 years from now, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Trust me.
Yes, definitely. Coach, I have to go to training. Conversation was very, very fun. I enjoyed some of the comments from the folks. Like Richard said, you're very transparent, media friendly, and it augurs well for the team. Because we actually will be in the know what's happening. We like your press conferences when you ask the questions, you try as best as possible to answer on it. So definitely, really appreciate it. We definitely have to continue this conversation again at some point in time. We'll definitely talk again. But
when we qualify, when we qualify,
yes. And we hope that Brown Bear will come back on.
Yes, definitely I want. Just remember the name.
Yeah, man, Brown Bear. All right, any final words you want to share with us, Coach?
Yeah, just keep supporting the girls. I'm trying. The FA doesn't know that yet, but I would love to have a final game in Jamaica before we go to Mexico. I think the fans support them, and I want them to know that we are trying our best. And when they're anti-Blaine, they're anti the Jamaica, because if me fail, our girls fail, right? And if another coach come, they might have the same opinion. Oh, he's not the right man, So I am here now. I am asking for all the support for not for me, but for the program. Because we have if we want to see that Jamaican female football get back to where it was, and it probably has to come through this set of girls who are doing so well, playing a league, playing that Shaw playing in Man City, you know, you have Rebecca playing in the Tottenham, you know, so we want them to aspire to something else than just the boys, you know, doing it. So support it and keep the negative comments, keep everything coming in because it makes us better.
Yes.
Yeah. Although
All right, so fans, you hear that?
But, you know, yeah, man, not a problem.
So people, Coach Vin Blaine, he has a rubber skin like myself. It doesn't matter what you come with, you'll take it, you'll assess it, and you'll sieve it to see if it is applicable to his lineup of jobs. So big up yourself, Coach. Really appreciate it. Big up to all the persons in the comment section. Thanks very much for sharing this very discussion. It was just a free-spirited. Coach, I was not using a script. We're just vibing and we just ask you the questions as they come on. Thanks to the 100 and odd people that came on to support. Really appreciate Coach taking a little bit of time out of his busy schedule to, you know, talk with us and rap with the fans. And that's what we always want as Jamaicans, for the coach and anybody who's in charge of any team to, you know, react to the fans like this positive way. And for the cheer, because you know the fans, they are the 12th man and they play a critical part in support of any of the national teams. So thanks again, Coach. Until next time, stay safe, people. Peace out.
All right, Coach. Thanks much.
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.